Hello everybody and welcome back again. My name, of course, you know by now, is Necroxis, and today I believe I'm going to be bringing you the very last thing I can in 5.3 from a story standpoint, and it's going to be the Secrets of Ragefire scenario that you don't actually have to do as part of the quote official 5.3 story that the quests take you through. So I don't know when this scenario takes place in the story. I don't know if there actually is even any story in it, but let's find out. It says it's available, so I'm gonna try it out. There is still one more in this patch they've added, which is Battle of the High Seas. They've basically said all it is a battle scenario, so I don't know. If I had to guess, that one probably doesn't have any story. It's probably just the Alliance and the Horde are fighting each other, and you just have to kill the other faction's NPCs. But Secrets of Ragefire, the name itself implies that there's at least a premise of a story, because something is going on down there. So hopefully this doesn't take too long, so I don't have to cut, because I don't like actually having to do extra work. But it says less than 1 minute, so we should be good. I'm just gonna run around here like an idiot on my dwarf, who is kind of awesome. I kind of like a dwarf. My actual warlock is a human, of course, but, you know, dwarfs are cool. I don't really PvP much anymore, so the human racial of every man for himself isn't that useful anymore, and stone form actually could be quite useful for PvE. But, yeah, hopefully this queue pops in a second. I think it's probably going to take a little bit longer because people on the PTR are probably only queuing for Blood in the Snow and the Dark Heart of Pandaria, because you kind of have to for the storyline. So, okay, I have decided I'm just going to cut it here then, and I will see you when the queue pops. Alright? And we're back, and the queue has popped, so let's start the scenario. The Secrets of Ragefire looks like we're dealing with the goblins, and I assume someplace in Ragefire Chasm, which is beneath Orgrimmar. So, what are we actually doing? Breach the main chamber and stop the abductions. I don't know what actually is going on. We're dealing with the Gob Squad. Grit, Newt, get that door open. Yes, sir. Patch, Ticker, and Volt. You three back her up. Ticker on it. Recruit, you're with me. We've tracked the recent disappearances in Duratar to this abandoned section of Ragefire. Disappearances? Are these like people that have disappeared after speaking out against Garrosh? Because that would be amazing if that's what this story actually is. I have a button here like in rocket jump. Oh, and it actually does a lot of damage to players near me, so that's cool. Oh, we're dealing with the Gob Squad. For those of you who... Ooh, I'm going to push this plunger. For those of you who don't know who the Gob Squad is, then you probably don't play the Horde as much like me, because I wasn't sure at first when I heard about the Gob Squad, because I actually heard about them from Howie and Dunn from But Wait There's Lore, and they were like, yay, the Gob Squad, they're awesome. Whoa, what is going on here? Dark Shaman. This has got to be Garrosh stuff. Yeah, they're Corcoran Ember Guards. Wow, this is nifty. So this has to be after 5.3, because the Gob Squad are part of the Bilgewater Goblins, and in the 5.3 story, it's heavily implied that the Bilgewater Goblins have left the Horde. Oh, well, maybe not. We aren't your enemy.
I get no respect around here.
This guy says all lesser races are true enemies of the Horde, but the Goblin is saying we're not your enemy. So I actually don't know when this takes place in the story. Or I don't even know who sent this team in here to do this. This is all very interesting, and I wish this was addressed in the story at some point, because I have a feeling there's going to be some impactful things that are happening here. But as I was saying, the Gob Squad is part of the Twilight's Highlands quest in Cataclysm, and they do some of the intro stuff to the Horde's storyline in the Twilight Highlands. So we're supposed to. There are proto-drake eggs here. Young proto-drake eggs line the cavern floor. Any recently hatched. With this many proto-drakes, no place would be safe from Garrosh invasion. Proto-drakes, is Garrosh working with the Dragon Maw? Orcs on proto-drake sounds very bad to me. Very bad. So maybe this does happen afterwards, but the goblins haven't, quote, officially left. They just have one foot out the door, and they're waiting for the rebellion to happen to actually leave. We're using a mantid bomb to open up whatever this gate is. So this has to be after 5.3's story, because we actually do know there are proto-drakes. We see outside of Durotar, Warlord Zayla she is channeling stuff into a proto-drake. So maybe this is after she does that and she gets them to hatch eggs, maybe? Right now we have to do some things to... Oh, we have to build the device to open up the gate. Okay, so we need to get batteries. Here's one battery. There are mobs spawning, I think, somewhere. Oh, yeah, there they are. I'm going to get this and get out of here real quick. Oh, shit. Actually, I'm probably going to have to fight. Yep, here we go. Okay. Burning Embers. Bitch, I'm a warlock. I use Burning Embers. What do you think you're doing? There's probably going to be an achievement for not getting hit by this stuff, because it's actually really easy to avoid. Okay, so let's kill that. It's just one left. And I actually didn't take the battery, so let's take this. I have one. Can I hold more than one thing at once? No, I actually can't. That sucks. Okay, and I can't mount up when I have it. Probably because I am dressed as a goblin. That makes sense, at least. So, let's get... Oh, what happened? Why did I lose the thing? That's weird. Okay, well, these guys are... Haha, that was cool. 250k to all of those dragons, except for that one that I missed. And what do we have so far? One cannonball, and that's it. So we still need a lot of other things. We need some egg yolk, so I'll do that. Here's one. Okay. Hopefully I don't lose the item again like last time. I don't know what happened. My companions are actually kind of like role-playing this with me, which is pretty funny. Well, not with me. I'm not doing it, but that's pretty funny. They're acting as if they're part of the Gob Squad. And I have to say, after just doing this little part, the Gob Squad is pretty awesome. So what do we need? We still need one cannonball, 2 batteries, and the pony pool. Or pool pony. I don't know what that is, but I have a battery. He has the pony. So then we just need one battery. Okay, so I think he has the last one. Let's see what happens. Final stage. Defend the Gob Squad while Patch establishes an escape route. My masterpiece is finished. What the heck is the pool pony for? Don't question my genius. I don't care what it's for. It's going to get this door open. Or is it going to get this door open? This thing could open Gallywix's personal safe. Once the detonator goes off now. I love goblins. Wait a little sooner next time. Help. Warn. Calm down. I'd hardly call that a fire. That door didn't even budge. Pat, shut up the emergency teleporter. We need to report this. Report this to Vol'jin. Yeah, this takes place after 5.3. Overseer El Aglo. You'll never escape these caverns. The true Horde, the pure Horde, cannot be stopped. Recruits, you're the only ones that can fight. Destroy them for the Horde. Oh, the core concept's there. So, this is actually quite interesting from a story standpoint. I have my theory on what's on that door, the other side of that door, but let's finish this first. If you have watched this video of 5.3, you probably could guess what I am going to say. Why isn't this part of the storyline? This is awesome. Maybe they're going to add it in at some point. Hopefully they do. Because this does seem like it takes place at the very end of the story. So we have to save the Gob Squad. I wonder if there's an achievement for not letting any of them die. There probably is. Poison Bolt Totem, stop that. Flamehound, we see Garrosh was using those in other places. There are some Flamehounds in the Barrens, actually. I assume we're going to have to kill that guy who was yelling stuff, but I don't actually know where he's at. Oh, here he is. Oh, no, never mind. Corcoran Dire Soldier. Holy shit. So Garrosh is using the mutated orcs now, as well as Dark Shaman. Kind of a big no-no if you're an orc. That's like very sacrilegious. It's not even sacrilegious, it's like just forbidden. You don't screw with that. So as we've been seeing through all of Mists of Pandaria, Garrosh is basically devolved into doing most of the same things that Gul'dan's Horde did, which is a reason why most of the Horde hates him now. Except for the young orcs who are supporting Garrosh, which is, I like that dynamic, even though I'm not a Horde player. I'm saying all this from the caveat that I'm still pissed about the Alliance's story, but from the Horde story, I like that they still have the whole, you know, the young orcs don't understand that what Gul'dan did was wrong. And therefore, they are now supporting Garrosh, who's doing a lot of those same things. Gul'dan mutated the young orcs on Draenor to grow them into fighters quicker. And that, I mean, that's basically what this Dire Soldier is. It's an orc that was, quote, grown stronger, just for the purpose of being stronger. I don't know, was that the boss or just like a rare, like a mini boss? Nope, we're still going. This is actually pretty challenging. This will probably be pretty difficult on the heroic mode. I'm gonna try and get my rocket boots. Here we go. Bam! Well, I hit one thing, so that's good. Who am I actually teamed with? I have a warrior and a hunter. I just realized I have not looked at my companions whatsoever, except for that one comment about them role-playing the story. Let's try and use the rocket jump again. Bam! Did I actually hit anything? I don't think so. Oh well. Did the range get increased to 25? Did the Gob Squad take any damage yet? Nope, nope, nope. What happened to him? Oh, he got knocked unconscious. So we're doing good. None of them have died or even taken any damage, so that's cool. I'm gonna try and hit him with this. Bam! Got him. Nice. Okay, he's almost done. He's actually doing more damage as the time goes on, so I could actually, like I said, see this being quite difficult in heroic. Although I haven't tried them yet, even though you can on the PTR. Excuse me, you actually need a group. You have to queue up as a group, I believe, so you can't just do random heroic scenarios. I don't know if that's true, actually. That's just what I think I've heard. So don't take me as 100% on that. But I don't actually have 3 other people that I know that are playing on, 2 other people I know that are playing on the PTR. I think we're going to the boss now, wherever he is. Here we go. Fools. The true Horde cannot be stopped by the likes of you. This guy actually has less health than the big guys. Let's just stun him, make sure he can't do any of his crazy moves. Shattering Stomp is probably going to be bad for whoever that hits. Oh yeah, the warrior is taking a lot of damage. Okie dokie. Let's just pop all my cooldowns and I'll do my thing. Kaboom. Let's see if I can hit him with this. Nice. He took double damage from that. Oh, it was a crit, that's why. Herpaderp. This is cool. I really like this one. This might be my favorite scenario. I wonder why they didn't include this in the story. Maybe you get a letter afterwards or something that directs you to go to Vol'jin or something. Alright, here we go. Let's see the story. The teleport is ready. Let's get out of here. Everyone out before more of them show up. Oh, I even get a title, Gob Squad Recruit. That's awesome. Oh, my poor ally didn't get resurrected. I don't actually have a guild on the PTR, so I can't use mass res. Alright, I think we just...
It's my way or the highway, pal.
wait for him to leave. I want to see if anything happens here. Nope. Let's go. Wonder where this takes us. To our shrine? Maybe. Or maybe to... it has to. To our shrine. Well, actually, I wouldn't know because I'm an Alliance player doing this, so... I'll probably take the Alliance player to the shrine because there actually is a teleporter there. But the Horde... I would assume they would. I mean, it would make sense. Loading screens on the PTR, yay. Okay, well, we're done with the scenario. That was cool. I really like that one. That is probably my favorite one. And let's talk about what's behind that incredibly locked door that even the goblins, who are like the best at just blowing things up, couldn't get through. I mean, you even heard him. He said that the bomb they made could have blown open Gallywix's personal safe, which is really saying something because Gallywix is greedy as shit. Okay, so since we know that this takes place after the 5.3 story, or at the very least at the point where the rebellion has officially started, because the guy mentions talking to Vol'jin. Now, the rebellion doesn't officially start until you complete the first two scenarios, Blood in the Snow and Dark Heart of Pandaria. And Garrosh gets something in Dark Heart of Pandaria. If people remember, we actually find the Heart of Yasharj, whatever, I'm never going to pronounce that correctly. The Heart of Yasharj, the dead old god, in a container that's locked up and looks very Titan-esque. And the end of that scenario is basically the goblins have left because they've been insulted by Melkorok, who is the leader of the Kor'kron, and that's how it ends. The leader of the Kor'kron finds, or has this box, and then the story ends. So that's what I think is behind there. I mean, I'm sure there are other theories. There could be, you know, like a bunch of magma elementals behind there or something, or, you know, the hatched proto-drakes could be behind there. My dog's barking in the background, so this video is going to be almost done, because people in my family cannot apparently understand that when you record, don't make noises. So, just a little personal rant there. So I think it's the Heart of Yasharj. That would make sense. And actually, it would tie into being possibly an area in the final raid. We go down there maybe at the end. Either it would have to be at the end or at the beginning. We have to go through it at the beginning to get through there and find out what he's doing. Or, and this is my theory of what it's going to be, after we stop Garrosh, if you're on Heroic, then you go to this area to find the Heart of Yasharj, and the Shah of Pride comes out. Either that's going to happen, or the Shah of Pride is just going to be rampaging around and either be a world boss or introduced right at the beginning. But I would think it's the Heart of Yasharj. It could also be, like I said, excuse me, it could be, you know, proto-drakes, magma elementals. It could be Kraken somehow if there's water behind the door, because we know Garrosh in Tides of War used Kraken. But yeah, that was very interesting. It was cool. It was really cool. I was having a great time doing it. The story was fun, and it was different enough. I mean, it was just collecting and killing stuff, but it was spaced out and it was different. I really liked it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you're going to play it, because I know I'm going to try that on Heroic in 5.3, because it might be actually pretty challenging. So thanks, guys. If the Battle of the High Seas actually is unlocked at some point, and I assume it is, or it will be, unless they just take it out of the patch altogether, I will bring you that, and then that'll be the true last thing, unless they just revamp the entire Alliance's story, which, not gonna lie, I'd probably have kind of a little loregasm there from the Alliance's side, but other than that, I will see you guys for whatever is next on the lore of the 5.3 PTR. As always, my name is Necroxis, of course. Hopefully by now you know that. And I will see you all next time. Farewell. Yes, my record didn't go off again, so I can spin around. Okay, see ya.